Hello, it's been a while. Okay, I'm back. I'm doing another ranking, but with a new website. So I've never used this. I haven't a lot. So there might be some flaws, but I'm doing a ranking of every single BFDI character. I'm gonna actually talk about them. I don't actually talk about them a lot. Anyway, let's start. Now, these are the 6 that I feel have gotten literally nothing for development. So let's see. Okay, we're starting off with Eggy. Bro, all Eggy did was kick fries out of a window in the episode about eliminated contestants. Like, come on. I mean, Clock, I guess, does get his development, but I find him annoying through like half of it. I do start to like him near the end, but it's kind of too late near the end. I think Bell's extremely mid, leaning towards a little annoying. I don't like Bell a lot either. And 8 Ball. All he did was talk about numbers in the Exeter episode. He could have done a little more. Boldy would have been in last by like a mile because she does nothing. But this is out of all the eliminated contestants in Teapot, she's the only contestant that is actually boosted by that episode. The other ones are kind of mid. And at 73, we have Hot Dog, who, I think people say he's overhated or underrated. I don't agree with that. I feel like that just makes him more overrated in my mind. So, yeah. Moving on, we have 2 characters that I actually do like, but they were eliminated too early in Teapot for me to like a lot. Pie and Nelly. Pie was obviously the first boot of Teapot, but he was one of my favorites in the Teapotter episode. And Nelly. Nelly's she was a fun character. She was more mischievous, but also she got out a little too early, similar to Pie. Barfbag and Loser are people who I constantly see a lot of love for, saying they're underrated. Loser is not this complex character everyone says he is. All he does is talks in a little voice. And also, it was kind of wholesome to see him reunite with a winner. That was probably my favorite part to his character. And Barfbag. I just don't like the extremely nice characters all that much. Even though I think BFB pre-split was probably my favorite version of Barfbag by far. Okay, major hot take incoming, but we have Book and then Needle. They're both rootable finalists, but compared to the other finalists, they both get kind of stomped. I was slightly rooting for Needle to win, but her arc about winning for herself is just kind of destroyed when you realize that all these people are fighting hard to win. Her arc is just about doing something everyone else is doing. It's not all that impressive as a finalist for me. I would have liked her a little more if she was like 4th place or 5th place. But she made it a little too far. And Book. Book didn't really go through any arc, I don't think. I feel like she does get a lot of sympathy, and that might be the only reason she won. And also just because she was nice. But I don't think Book should win a season as chaotic as BFDIE. It just doesn't feel fitting. It just feels kind of weird. And she also didn't have any, like, I don't know. I just kind of yawn whenever Book talks. She's just not as rootable as the other. Braceletty's kind of adorable. I really like Braceletty actually, but I also don't. Her little gag is just that she likes Ice Cube, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Ice Cube soon. But Profilely, despite being in every single season, he's pretty underwhelming in all of them, despite being the only person to make finale multiple times. I don't know how to feel about him, not gonna lie. Robot Flower overstayed her welcome. She could have been fixed way earlier. Well, actually, she didn't overstay her welcome, but I didn't really like her welcome anyway. I don't like how much she was welcome. I mean, she has her arc, but it just kind of ends abruptly. Another hot take incoming, but next up is Needy. I've never seen someone say Needy is their second least favorite of BFDIE. But, about Needy. I think if her name was anything different, like freaking Syringe or something, I don't even think she'd have half of the fan base she had. If we're ranking her on names, then she's easily number one of all time, but we aren't. We're ranking her on characters, and her trying is kind of similar to Needle, and like everyone's doing that. I don't like when people have arcs about something that's so easy to do. It's just their flaws. And now we have my second least favorite winner, Flower. Well, Flower's actually not even that bad, but Flower's just, I don't know. If if her arc was done better in post split, I would have actually been down for her winning. But it feels like she just randomly became nice right after the split. I don't think anything really happened. Pre-split, she showed a bit of it, I guess, but she was still mean, Flower. I just wish there were more steps to it before it happened. If there was, then she would have probably been around like top 30. But I don't know, it just feels rushed. These are people who I think should be a lot lower, but they aren't. All I have to really say about them are their voices. I like Cloudy's accent, and I like how Rose is voiced by Gooseworks. That's it. Maybe they should be lower. I don't know. Ice Cube needs an entire analysis, in my opinion, because she's been screwed over so many times. Like when people talk about how Teardrop was screwed over, I can only think of Ice Cube. Because, let's see, BFDIA is her only fair elimination. She got out to a contestant vote in BFDI. In BFB, she actually survived until Teapot. But even in BFB, she didn't do anything. And then come Teapot, she's in the bottom 3 or bottom 2 like almost every time. And then the second she actually starts doing something, that's when she gets out. Which there are a lot of other characters who have gotten that same fate. Remote has a robot voice and prevents death. I don't think she deserves to rejoin. But if she lasted longer, I think she would have been alright. Gady and Stafy, actually. I really like them both. I think they're both pretty fun characters. I think Gady's one of the only people on Bleh with a brain. And I think her relationship with Two is alright, but I hate how that's all she does. Stapy, like, he has a friendship with Foldy, I guess, and also his little arc in the exit was pretty fun. I think he does feel bad for cheating. He definitely learned his lesson. It would be cool to see him in another season. How do I stop? You know how I talked about how Ice Cube was kind of eliminated right when she started doing stuff? That same thing can be said for TV. TV didn't deserved to go when he did. And I'm actually kind of shocked I'm saying that, because if this was back when he got out, he would have probably been at the bottom. But I've come to appreciate him. I think the only reason people hate him as much as they did was because he was surviving over their favorites, which might also be why I hate him. And I was worried for Bottle. Sai is someone I feel bad for, because, like, if her entire personality wasn't her just saying 8, then she would have actually been a very charming character. And she actually is whenever she's not just saying that, but she's usually just saying that. Bro Body is my absolute goat, not gonna lie. I actually do really like him whenever he's playing an important role. Like, he's the only reason the debut at Teapot freaking 12 happened, so I have to give him credit for that. And also, he's just so sassy, but in Morse code. It's funny. This is another hot take. This is someone I absolutely respect, but this is Black Hole. If it was just a ranking on who the best characters were, Black Hole would actually be very high up. But this is my personal ranking, and I just don't feel a lot when Black Hole is on screen. But he is a very important character. I think he does deserve to make it far in Teapot. I just don't think he has a lot of a personality. He is important, though. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I hope I didn't just spoil my entire ranking. Next up, I have Woody. And in BFB, he randomly learns to talk, and I think it would be funny if he just became a giant prankster. Woody would have made a perfect villain for BFB. But what we got out of him in BFB was fine, I guess. My dreams will be shattered, though. Bami is another one of those characters. I'm actually not sure why he's so high. He probably should be lower, but he's not. I think Bami's alright. He made it pretty far in BFDIE. He's like he's part of the Golf Balls Children group, which I think is pretty funny. All those people who are there. So Bami's alright. He makes top 50, which isn't that much of an accomplishment, but I don't think he deserved to make it as far as he did in BFDIA. Seeing Ruby and Golf Ball go before him, especially them going back to back with Bami still being in, I didn't really like that. Beach Ball, it would have been interesting if he stayed in for longer, because he is more of like, he's more sympathetic than Sticker. He definitely has more morals than Sticker. And I think he might have stopped cheating if he stayed in for longer, which I would have loved to see. Cake is mostly up here because of Teapot 22, I think. Yeah, 22. Where Cake was honestly my favorite, besides Pie. And also Snowball, Fanny, and Pillow, but I don't know if they count. Oh yeah, and Puffball. We'll see her, not that soon even. Next up, we have Jamie, who I feel bad for. I think if she got another chance, it would be pretty cool. But she's one of the only normal people in BFDIE, and I think it's actually really funny to see her reactions. And also, I don't know what I like more, the fact that Ruler made it farther and then got out right after, or the fact that Jamie, or the ending where Jamie gets her revenge on Ruler and takes him down. I actually do think I like the endings evenly, but the better one for Jamie is obviously her getting her revenge on Ruler, which it would have been cool if that happened. Lie is one of my least favorites out of those that are still in Teapot. I don't have a problem with Lie. I think she similar to Black Hole. I just don't feel a lot when she's on screen. Like, I feel like I like her arc. I don't know why she just randomly started killing people in Teapot 20, in Teapot 19. That was kind of weird. And now we have Fiery. And Fiery is one of the first people I think of when I hear BFDI. But he didn't have a lot of personality. I did like him in BFDI, but I wish Leafier Bubble did win. But those are probably my top three. BFDI honestly probably has my favorite group of finalists. But and then BFB, I don't really like his writing in post split. In pre split, he was good. He was there. And Teapot might actually be my favorite version besides BFDI. I'm excited to see what happens in the future with Fiery. And I like that he's playing a big role in the one thing. And right above Fiery, we have Fiery Jr. And Teapot 21 is probably my favorite episode for him. And in BFB pre-split, I found him kind of annoying. But he's absolute peak in Teapot 21. I really wanted to see him more. If I do see him more, he could actually be up there in my top 20. Next up, we have Balloony from BSB. He got so screwed over in pre-split. Why did he not go to Teapot? That he screwed over himself and Cloudy by going to post-split. But that was a writing decision, so I can't blame it on Balloony himself. And in pre-split, I saw a lot of potential. He was the leader of Beep, and Beep was an absolute train wreck. Beep is probably my favorite team. And most of that is actually because of Balloony. In 42nd, we have my second least favorite out of the Death Pact 4. And Tree I actually do really like, especially when he's with Marker and Fanny. But like by himself, I don't think he could be that interesting. It's mostly how well he goes with all the other people in Death Pact. Number 41 is a hot take, and I'm surprised I have her ranked this low. But I have Teardrop at 41. I don't know why I put her this low, but I mean, actually, she can get a little bit annoying in Teapot. Just how, like, she's basically a god, and she also, despite getting third place in BFB, she comes to Teapot and makes it decently farther, where we get to see Cloudy get screwed over, and also a lot of other people. Oh yeah, Puffball gets screwed over before. Fries gets screwed over, which, I mean, now that BFDIA is out, it's not as big of a deal, but at the time, I was definitely devastated that Fries went home that early. So, I mean, I just don't like Teardrop and Teapot, I guess. Number 40, I have Match. When Match is with Pencil, she might as well be at the bottom. I don't think Match is good with Pencil. But lately she's been without Pencil, and I think it's been really good. Teapot 18 and Teapot 21 are my favorites because Match is so dedicated as a friend to everyone else, and I think it's really good development. And in Teapot 18, seeing her reunite with Ruby and Bubble, it was also pretty good after we didn't get to see them together for years. Fanny and Blocky can both be done together because they're both really popular, and I think they're both kind of overrated, even though I really like both of them. If Fanny was actually doing stuff in Teapot, she could potentially be top 10, but now she's just loved for no reason. She hasn't done anything since, like, I'm pretty sure Teapot 13 now. I guess she participates in challenges. And I mean, Blocky, people complain that he's out of character for befriending Woody. And if Snowball doesn't get that hate, then why does Blocky deserve it? In my opinion, Blocky's development was pretty good. At number 37, higher than almost all the winners, we have Rocky. That's really funny how Rocky's higher than most of these people. I'm probably gonna, I might get a lot of hate for putting Rocky this high, but in my opinion, Rocky's kind of the GOAT. Kind of the GOAT. He shines most in the BFDIE finale, where he finally learns how to write, and he's able to recover everyone. Why is Taco this high? I would honestly swap out her and Teardrop, or her and Blocky. I feel like it does get kind of annoying when she complains, but I do think she was kind of robbed in that one episode, the diary episode. Do you think okay, it's not my fault for not remembering what that episode is. Do you think anyone keeps Post Split in their memory? I want to forget about that. Well, yeah, I do think she can be a Karen, but she did help Blocky and Woody with their stuff. And in my opinion, I don't think she's as much of a Karen as people say she is. Basketball cares for Robot Flower way more than anyone ever could, including me. But I mean, I don't know. She's another one that should definitely be way higher, but I just don't care for a lot. She's like a nice character, I guess. That's basically it. These two have no correlation, so I don't know why I'm doing them together. Probably because they're both yellow, but we have Lightning and Yellowface. Yellowface deserved to get out when he did in both of the seasons. He deserved to make it far in Teapot, and he deserved to get out in BFDIA. But I do think his ads are pretty fun, and also I think it's funny how he screws over his teammates, especially their reactions whenever he does it. And Lightning saw the pack's downfall coming, or actually, she went through it. They didn't actually have a downfall after, or they kind of did. But that's not the point. The point is that Lightning is actually kind of overrated, but I don't know. Why is Lightning this high? This is my first time using this website. I don't know. Should price tag be this high? I don't think so, but also she's an elite support character. I don't like support characters all that much, but price tag can basically be friends with anyone, and they can be a love duo in the community. Price tag is kind of just a chill guy who works well with everyone. And what a coincidence, right after we have the other debuter, Winner, who I think is kind of overrated, but at the same time, his stuff with Loser was pretty fun. And also, I like their dynamic now. And also, I do kind of side with Loser in the abandonment thing, even though I like Winner more. I think Winner was just hurt by that, though, and I do kind of understand that. So, I don't hold that against Winner, and I have him at 31. Marker has a funny voice, and that's all I care about. That was more of a cloudy voice. What was that? That was pathetic, bro. Okay, anyway, Mark is another silly character, but he receives way more hate than all the silly characters. And if Marker goes home, I don't like Teapot anymore, not gonna lie. Even though I'm pretty sure he will get out. which I'm not excited for. We're gonna see basically all the goofy characters go home. This is gonna be way too story focused. Dora got absolutely screwed over with all the dramatic little drama stuff happening in Bleh. I don't think she deserved to go home of all people, even though that's obviously what was being set up. I think it definitely should have been Book. She just had a sudden apology like the episode before they lost, and that was enough for her to survive. It definitely should have been Lollipop either. I'm also mad about that. And Dora, I like Dora's little yap sessions she goes on. Like in BFDIE, she had an entire rant about how Book deserved to win. Basically, all she had to do was just say, Book is the underdog, she deserves to win. But she just went on a freaking rant, bro. At 28, I have Eraser. I think Eraser's rivalry with Teardrop and especially Bottle is really funny. I definitely like his rivalry with Bottle because of how one-sided it is. Like, if Eraser were to say that he hated Bottle, Bottle would be like, oh, really? I thought we were chill. I don't think Bottle even realizes anything. Which, I mean, I guess that benefits Bottle more, but Eraser is still a part of that, so I must mention it. And I think he didn't deserve to be eliminated in Teapot, whatever, episode 14. It should have probably been Book, or probably even Grassy at that time. Now I don't think it should have been Grassy, but at the time I was kind of mad that Grassy was still first safe. I mean, and also Price Tag at the time should have gone. I think anyone but Eraser. Nickel is an absolute goober, and he's made it the farthest out of all the silly characters. And in BFDIA, for like the 2 episodes he became relevant and then got out, those were really fun. And I want to see Nickel come back for something. I mean, I guess he deserved to go out in the final 7, but I think he's better than a lot of people that made the final 7. Spongy deserves respect, bro. I think Spongy just showing up randomly whenever is also pretty funny. And I think how Spongy's entire house got leaked in BFDIA 25. That was some disrespect. He didn't deserve to get doxxed like that. And I mean, him abandoning his team in Teapot, or no, not Teapot, BFB 14-ish. I think it was 14 or 15. I don't remember a lot in BFB, but I don't think Spongy deserves any hate for that. After how much hate he did, after how much he got bullied by everyone, I think he deserves to be able to do that. Number 20, we have people who are all super overhated. Let's start off with Money. I think Money coming back and being just a complete menace, I actually really like that. You guys are kind of freaks if you think Money's bad for becoming a villain after Money getting disrespected. Toothpaste and Fern can kind of be talked about together. They're complete opposites, and we should not get them as a duo or rival. It kind of depends. You're my new enemy, Fern. That's just stuck in my head all the time. And also, I mean, Toothpaste does get a little boring right before she goes. She might have overstayed her welcome, but I just think she's a goofy character. I like her. And Fern, he's just a chill dude. Come on. I remember having Fern in second last out of all the BFDIE characters. My opinion on Fern has changed just a little bit, as you can see. Now Needy's my second last, which is probably even more of a hot take, but whatever. I think Fern, I think looking back, Fern being in the exact Final Four that he was in, I still get that mixed up, he or she. I think that wasn't, I think that was probably the best scenario for him as a character, because he was just surrounded by a bunch of villains, and he's also an underdog, which I do like the underdog characters once in a while. I think he did deserve his win in BFDIE. I would have preferred the other two, though. Either of them to win. At number 22, I have Grassy. Now, how do I feel about the little cute character being the main character of Teapot? I don't think it's great, but I can't take that away from Grassy either. I think he's a nice guy. I don't want to say a lot about Grassy because I want to save some of that for when we get to Snowball. Because a lot of what I have to say about them comes from the other. But I think Grassy was taught by Snowball how to be strong, and Snowball was taught by Grassy something. I'll get to that later, though. Just missing out on the top 20, we have Leafy. Uh, I think Leafy could potentially be top 3 if it wasn't for Post Split, where I don't like her a lot. Like, I don't think Leafy's bad, but definitely my least favorite in the Final Four. Just in that season. But BFDIA completely makes up for everything. And she was also one of my favorites to win in BFDI. But her specifically in Teapot, or in BFDIA 19 to 25, those were the best episodes for Leafy. She's either a complete hypocrite, which I think is also funny sometimes, or she's a very complex character. Either way, I like it a lot. Starting off with a hot take, we have Pillow at number 20. That's kind of shocking. Like, I've learned to like the more chaotic characters a lot. And I think Pillow fits into the chaotic character role, kinda. And I think she deserves the top 20. I do like how she just kills everyone. Her making her team lose in Teapot 9 wasn't even that bad either. Whenever whenever Ruby kills everyone in BFDIA, you guys didn't care, even though I didn't want you guys to care. I wanted Ruby to stay in. But that's just something I noticed. I think Pillow deserves this spot. Next up, just specifically because of BFDIE, we have David. David is just a guy who says, "Aw, seriously." That's all he really does. Do I need another reason? No, I don't. This is my video. Just leave if you don't want to see this. Wait, where did I stop? I don't know, but even at the end of BFDIA, you can see that Donut developed a lot. So I mean, in BFB, he cared for his team way more than he should have, specifically for Spongy. And then Spongy just abandoned his entire team in a rocket. Shouldn't have trusted Spongy, bro. The one time someone actually cares about him, bro pulls that. And in Teapot, he did get a lot of development and stuff. I don't know if I already said that because it stopped all of a sudden. But I think the fact that he was even close to getting eliminated early in Teapot was kind of sad. If he did, then Teapot might not be as good as it was. These two are both really fun and chaotic as villains. Fries and Puffball. Oh crap, my computer's about to die. Let me deal with that. Anyways, Fries and Puffball. I do actually like the one who has gotten less development. Because, well, Puffball was there. Oh my god, she was amazing. She was such a fun villain. If Puffball does not rejoin Teapot, then I'll riot. And Fries, he's either don't care, or he's burning people with a flamethrower. Which is funny. That's basically it. Snowball is best when he's paired with like a weaker character. Because when he was with Grassy did kind of show him that just because people are smaller than him, that doesn't mean they can't be as strong as him. So now instead of making fun of people for being weak, he's trying to make them stronger. Okay, Penny's a chill dude, but the fact that he might win Teapot, I don't think is all that deserved. Him having his crash out was pretty fun, but I can't name a lot he did. But at the same time, I think in Teapot, he's definitely best when he's part of Death Pact, and he's trying to learn how to prevent death. When he left that, I was kind of disappointed. It is also kind of disappointing that he lasted longer than Snowball and Eraser. But I actually have him higher than Snowball and Eraser. I'm actually not sure why looking at it now. But, I think Penn's pretty solid. Bubble was absolutely robbed of winning BFDI. And despite being third place, she was still robbed in BFB by what happened to her. She doesn't deserve all the hate she gets. Stop the Bubble hate. And also, Bubble's little accent is funny. Ruler is a British Disney villain who can't do anything by himself, and I think it's funny. I mean, people hate him a lot for not being able to do anything by himself. I just think it's hilarious. I think once people stop taking BFDI seriously, they'll like people way more. Just missing out on the top 10, we have Sidewalkie, who is basically like Snowball, but with no redeeming factors. And he's also, all he does is just crushes people, and he's an absolute menace. In my opinion, he makes the perfect winner for a season like BFDIE. But I don't mind Finn that much. Starting off our top 10, we have Pin. And looking back at it, my favorite season of Pin is actually BFDIA. Which I didn't like Pin a lot in BFDIA when she was still there. But when she got out, it felt like the season just kind of crumbled. Or no, actually the episodes were peak, but the contestants, I started to like them way less. Sticker is probably my favorite in BFDIE because, like, I don't know. I do wish, like, he did get what he deserved for his cheating, but that's basically my only problem with him. He's very charming. I like his cheating a lot, and I also think it's just funny how nobody trusts him except for Fern, and Fern definitely got what she deserved for trusting him. Did I say he? Bro, I keep misgendering Fern. That's my bad. At number 8, we have Tennis Ball, who is someone I actually also hated a lot until like the literal last second in BFDIA 23. That's when I started to like him. And in Teapot, like, I really like how people just hate Tennis Ball. And then Winner's there, doesn't do anything. Freaking Fanny's there, hasn't done anything since Tennis Ball since Tennis Ball stopped doing stuff. They're basically the same. Nobody hates on Fanny for that, though. I don't know what the problem is with Tennis Ball now. in my opinion, I think he's really good. And right above tennis ball, I have golf ball, who, oh my god, if she doesn't win Teapot, then I don't like Teapot. Teapot's gonna suck unless she's the winner. She's the only person who I want to win anymore. And in my opinion, BFDIA is her best season, even though I absolutely love her in Teapot, which that just says a lot. Teapot isn't even her best season, and I still want her to win the most out of everyone. Meaning golf ball must be peak, and golf ball is peak. Especially when she just paired with all the idiots of BFDIA. all golf ball is really funny in all those episodes. At number 6, I have Lollipop, who I think Lollipop actually should be above the person who's next, but whatever. Lollipop is probably the only person I was rooting for like a lot to actually win BFB, except for who's next, who I was actually rooting for Lollipop more than. And I think every time Flower's talking about how she needs to win or how she's trying to be nice, Lollipop is over here making a sarcastic remark, which I think is way better than Flower. Number 5, we have Gelatin, who probably should have been swapped out with Lollipop, but whatever. I mean, Gelatin, I don't think Gelatin's ever bad in my opinion. People can say he's bad in pre-split, but I like his fork throwing, and I also like how he just wants to explode Bomby all the time. BFDIA though, late BFDIA, is pretty cool. I don't think people acknowledge his voice actor enough. Like, I think I really like Gelatin's new voice. I don't think it should get hate. I think it should get even more love than it actually does get. But Gelatin is the first person in my top 5, and we're down to 4. The 4th placer is in 4th place, and I'm still shocked she's not higher. At number 4, we have Bottle. Bottle fell off. No, she didn't. She's still 4th, but she's not on the podium anymore. And after she got out in Teapot, did I just forget she existed or something? Is that why she's so low? How is she this low? She's not even that low, but like, Bottle's fun with about anyone. She's really good in the middle of a Lion Pens arc. She's a really good third wheel to that. And I also like her dynamic with the racer. It's pretty funny. And I'm not sad that she's at Teapot. I'm happy she made it as far as she did. It's a miracle that she made it there on its own. So, yeah, I'm thankful for Bottle for being one of the only silly characters left. Marker, you need to make it far, please. I'm saying this as if Marker is not gonna get out next. I don't know that, but I also kind of know that. Taking on 3rd place, we have Coiny. It's an absolute tragedy how Coiny is not the winner of BFDIA right now. Coiny would have saved BFDIA if he was the winner. BFDIA doesn't even need saving, but BFDIA would have been even more peak if Coiny had just stuck through and won. But instead, he got voted out for being mean. Who are those, like, freaking 37,000 people who did that? I'm just curious. Oh, wait, I forgot to press pause, but, and now, when I play it, I accidentally press pause. Can it just stay played whenever I want it to? Okay, number 2 is Pencil. I'm having errors, but we're almost done. And it's almost 50 minutes. Holy crap. So Pencil's solid. Not solid. Oh my god, we're at the top 2. Oh my god. Okay, in BFDI, Pencil's solid. I'll say that. Pencil's a fun character. She's good. in BFDIA, that's her best season by far. She's honestly, she's better than Book could dream of being. She's actually a better friend than Book to Needle, and Book can stay mad. She can stay mad, but at the same time, she's also a complete jerk in BFDIA, and whenever she is, it's really funny. She's another person who just got voted out for being mean. Can we just stop doing that, please? If you'd rather see Book in BFDIA than Pencil in BFDIA, then I don't know. I'm not gonna hate on your opinion, but I'm just kind of questioning that. I'm giving Book too much hate right now. My bad. And number one has been Ruby for a long time. BFDIA Ruby is way too good for a 10th placer. And also, the animators had a lot of fun with her in BFDIA 24 and 25. I'm gonna play some clips, or I'm gonna not edit it because I'm lazy. And in BFB, she's great she's great with everything. She's amazing as a silly character. She's actually a really good support character. Ruby's lava arc is what people call it, I think. That was also really good. Post split is way too good for Ruby, and she somehow was the third boot to post split, which I'm shocked. I'm just absolutely appalled that had to happen. And Ruby didn't deserve it. Alright, so now that I have a computer, I'm gonna start recording a lot more. Just let me know what you guys want next. I'm probably gonna do some. I might do a little teapot prediction. I might do some my ways. I like those. I'm trying to do a lot of BFDIE focused content. Maybe I'll do some what ifs. Like, ooh, what if Fern was the first boo instead of Hot Dog? But that's it.